Hey there, my name is Princess Estocia McKinney, and I'm the founder of Bellibind. Today, I'm going to walk you through how to self-wrap with one of our belly binds. Self-wrapping initially seems complex, too hard to do, but when it comes to having a custom-fitted wrap around your postpartum curves, there really is nothing quite like a belly bind wrap. I'm going to walk you through the steps to make sure that you have continued success after our virtual coaching call for the next 40 days postpartum. That's 6 weeks. Can you do it? I hope so. If not, feel free to click the link below to schedule another virtual coaching call with us. We're here not only to make sure you're successful in your self-binding journey, but available to help you prioritize time for yourself to do the binding practice, but also to love on yourself. That's what's going to help you reclaim your body, and that's what's going to help you give yourself continued grace and flexibility through this immediate postpartum period where your body just wants gentle, tender, loving care. And with Bellibind, we're going to help you get that perfect hug, that gentle support, and really swaddle you just like you swaddle that beautiful newborn. So let me help you have continued success with your self-binding practice. Get your belly bind wrap, because here we go. Now, if you have your belly bind tote, you can go ahead and put your wrap inside the tote, or the bag that it comes in is also a great alternative. What you see here is I've finished my womb rub. Again, if you missed that video, subscribe, click below to find that video. You always want to make sure that you are doing a womb abdominal rub first with our Shine Womb Oil because of all the benefits that I speak about in that video. Go check it out. Now, what you want to do is take a moment to open up your fabric. What does that mean, princess? Open up my fabric. Find your end piece, and just like a magician pulling a scarf out of a hat, you just want to make sure from end to end there is no knots. Look, knots. Whenever you take off your bind, when you're first using it, there's knots that happen. So you want to make sure that you're opening up your fabric before you start binding so that you don't end up getting halfway done and then there's this huge knot you have to get out. Now, once you have that done, you can place the remaining into your bag so that it's easy to kick the fabric around your body as you do this. You're going to find your end piece. Remember, you have that instructional handout with beautiful illustrations on how to do this. So sometimes it's nice to have that handy so you can also reference the guides that I give you there. All right, so you're gonna find your end piece. You're gonna measure just above your forehead about 1 inch. And this is important. Follow the curve of your belly. Oftentimes you still look 3 to 6 months pregnant. So you want to make sure you're pressing up that fabric to follow the curve of your belly all the way down to your pubic bone. This makes sure you have enough slack to complete the binding process. You're going to take the point at your pubic bone and bring it together with your end point. And you're going to gather all of this into one hand, and we're just going to save it for later and put it in your bra. So it is helpful if you are wearing a bra at this time, if you are bra free because your nipples are cracked, sore, tender, understandable. I would just either put it in my mouth and do the remaining steps. But if you're just learning, it is easier if you have a bra or something to stuff it into. Now, that is our tail piece. We also call it the mommy piece because this is the piece that our moms hold when we are doing an application in home or you have a partner supporting you. This is the mommy piece you always hold and your tail piece. This is the body fabric. Why? The body fabric is going to go around your body. So here we go. You're going to come over the top, underneath your bra line, your bust line. You're going to fan out your fabric, cover that upper abdominal area. Come back around, fanning this fabric. You are only slightly overlapping. Slightly overlap. This is our protective layer. We always do a protective layer. This is our belly bind technique. And again, overlapping. And you want to make sure that as your lower belly is extended, that you create this hammock hug to lift it up and bring it around. Now we're covering that lower back, creating that support for your lower back. And I would even do one more layer. So you can do 3 protective layers or even 4. If you're a surgical birth mama, you want to do 4. It's okay to go over the top of your incisional area. You just want to make sure that you're keeping an eye on it. Have a partner look, take a peek underneath. Is that area red and inflamed? Does it have an odor? You don't want to cover it if it is doing any of that. However, as long as you're not showing those symptoms, covering that incisional area is going to give you the most support, and it's also going to help you avoid that C-section shelf, which is a buildup of adipose tissue and also scar tissue, and it makes the upper portion of your incisional area kind of pudgy and protruding. So this, going over the incisional area, making sure you're not compressing just above it, is what's going to help you avoid that. Now, you're going to be at your hip, you're going to stop there, tuck it in, bring this mommy piece, this tail piece out. Here's the tricky part. Sometimes people get messed up on it. When you do this protective layer, this mommy piece kind of gets tucked under. You're going to want to untuck it. Untuck it from that protective layer. And when you do that, it's going to allow you to crisscross it right over the top. You're going to crisscross it right over the top. Boom. Just like that. Right on that other hip. So you've got one hip, has the body fabric layer over it. It's fanned out and hugging nicely. And then the other hip, the tail piece has come down and it's hugging this layer here. Now we're going to do our anchor knot. You're going to make sure you pull this shorter tail piece through the loop. It's just like tying a shoelace. And you're going to cinch it. Stand hip width apart. Cinch it, nice and snug. This is going to give you that hip stability. Cinch it together. Now try to hold it and make sure it stays nice and snug. This is over your incisional area. Don't cinch it as much. We don't want it digging and pressing into your incisional area, but still make sure it's snug. Now you hold it in place. I usually use my hand to press a little on that knot so it doesn't loosen. And now I'm going to loop my tail piece into another knot. This time, do not do it too tight. It's going to be very hard to take off when you're ready to take it off. So just a loose knot to hold it in place. You're not going to go like, no, don't do that. And there you have it. You've got your anchor knot and your protective layer. That is your foundation for our belly bind self-wrap. Now, you're going to secure this anchor knot, hold it in place as you create tension on your mommy piece. We talk about this on our virtual coaching call. Create that tension. Now you can tuck it into your bra. My favorite way is holding it with my teeth because it really helps to keep that tension. But for teaching purposes, I'm not going to do that. However, that is my preference. So if you want to do that and you're looking in the mirror as you watch this video, go for it. I'm just going to tuck it in here, but see how there's not as much tension? You see that? Alright, so now I'm going to open up my fabric again, my body fabric. Now sometimes as you twist around your body, the fabric gets a little twisted into itself. You can just take your thumb and just kind of open that fabric up, shake it out. Sometimes I like to just shake it, make sure it's loose. Here we go. You're going to fan it out, and when I say fan it out, it's really just opening that fabric up to cover the region that you're in. So we're in this lower hip region still. We're going to come right over to top of that hip area and that lower back that we just covered. We're gonna keep going. Tug, tug at this hip, tug, tug, tug the bottom, tug the top. Make sure it's snug. Come around. You're still gonna create that hammock of support. And then gathering it into one hand below the previous knot. You're gonna take your mommy piece, drop it over the top, and twist it around, pull it straight up. Okay, let's do that again. Belly binding is not hard to do. It really is about the technique, learning the technique, and then also learning the proper placement so you're not aggravating or triggering any other issues like pelvic floor issues. Now, as you go around your body, you are inching your way up. So here, I've moved up about an inch, about 1 finger width. You're inching your way up your body with each layer. You're gathering that body fabric into one hand, and then you're gonna position it below the previous knot, so then when you drop your mommy piece over the top and pull it up, now when you pull up that mommy piece, this knot should go from below the previous knot to stacked right on top of it, okay? Create that tension on your mommy piece, and now you're gonna open your fabric up, and you're going to move up an inch, finger width, from that previous layer. When you fan it out, you're staying in this region. Do not fan it up to here. Don't do that. It's just gonna roll down, okay? It's just gonna roll down. So just fan it out into this region. Staying in alignment with your knots. Make sure you're moving up around the back too. You don't wanna create too many layers on your lower back. That's where you're gonna get hot. It's gonna go beyond posture, lower back support. It's gonna be like, ooh, too bulky, too hot. Okay, gathering it into one hand, twisting, and you see, you guys, when I take this tail piece and I wrap it around, I'm grabbing it from the outside. These are twist knots. These are not full knots. We're only doing that for our anchor knot. Everything else is a twist knot. Keep going, inching our way up. Just like you're taking a step up a ladder, right? Keep going. Tug, tug, tug. Here we go. You're still swooping down. It's very common that you might spend more time with your fabric in this lower area as the postpartum belly is more distended in this lower abdominal womb space, right? So it's more like that. So you're still going to create this hammock of support for that lower belly so that you can lift it up, draw it in. Lift it up, draw it in. I want you to visualize that as you're doing it. Now, I'm almost there. I'm halfway there. I'm getting to my lower rib cage. Do not do this part too snug. Below, that's fine. You can be pretty snug with it and support it. Once you get to this lower rib cage area, you want to make sure that you are dialing that tension back by about 25%. So just slightly less. It is so easy to self-wrap too tightly because you're maned up, you're straight, your body, your arms are stretching around, so you seem smaller, so then you create more tension. However, when you sit down and relax, you're gonna be like, I can't breathe. It's uncomfortable. Get it off of me, right? And we don't want that. I want you to get a nice good fit. So oftentimes, once you get to your lower rib cage, I like you to sit down on something, wiggle, take a deep breath, and intentionally breathe into that rib cage. How does that feel? If that feels good, go ahead and secure it. Go ahead and secure it, pull it up. Boom, there we go. Alright, keep going. Okay, important. We said move up with your back. Make sure you're getting underneath your bra line now. Breathe. I'm going to use my thumb to kind of help stretch it out if it feels a little too snug. Want to make sure I can get a nice deep breath. This is not a corset. You want to be able to breathe. You want to be able to get a nice deep breath. And ask your pelvic floor physical therapist. That's what's also going to help you avoid pelvic floor prolapse issues. By not increasing intra-abdominal pressure, by making sure you're not wrapping too tightly around your rib cage, is going to really help ensure that you are still able to get a nice, even breath. A little pro tip for you. Again, gathering into one hand, coming below the previous knot, twisting around, pulling straight out. This is my personal bind, so I only have one more to go. You want to make sure you're wrapping all the way up into this upper abdominal area, because bloating, especially post-surgery, but even with a vaginal delivery, it's going to be more in this upper area too. So we want to help press that trapped air and gas, that flatulence, and push it down, not up into the chest cavity. Last piece, around my rib cage. I'm going to breathe nice and deep here. Okay. How do we finish? We take our body fabric piece and we stuff it right down the side of the wrap against my skin. As time goes on, your body is going to shrink down. It's doing what it's supposed to. It's responding to the wrap. It's responding to not being pregnant anymore. You're going to trim your fabric. I love seeing fabric trim day pictures. So please feel free to share your journey and your fabric cutting day pictures with us at Bellibind on Instagram and TikTok. We love seeing your pictures and your before and afters, but this is a cutting day for me. Yay! Now, it is not uncommon for you to see triple this amount after your first or second wrapping day, especially if you can keep it on for 30 plus hours comfortably. I mean, your body is just going to respond really well to it. If you weren't able to get as high up, and our fabrics are very long, we're able to support petite sizes from 100 pounds to 300 pounds with our custom binds. So whether you're petite or plus size, we got you covered. Okay? With that being said, if you weren't able to get as high up, depending on your wrapping technique or just the amount of bloating that you might have, for sure by the second, third time wrapping, you're gonna get higher up, and then eventually you're gonna end up having to cut fabric. So woo, we love cutting fabric because that means our body is working hard. Hey, and there you have it. This is your completed bind. It looks beautiful. It is hugging my hips nicely, and that rib flaring is not gonna happen because I'm hugging in here. Your body meridian lines, these knots do help to stimulate that energetic flow in your body. Last thing is, if your wrap is starting to ride up, if you have a lot of stairs in your house, then you'll want to make sure you slide your fingers underneath the entire unit, the entire garment. Slide your fingers underneath and shimmy it down. Be aggressive. Shimmy it down, okay? Over your back over your incisional area. You can see here, my incisional area for my first delivery is right here. So I'm gonna shimmy it down so that it's right over top of that. There you go. When you have to go to the bathroom, or you want to check your incisional area, just lift it up. No big deal. Once you're done, it can feel like a workout. Other than giving birth, which is a marathon and takes a lot out of you, this is probably the most activity you're doing in those first week to 2 weeks post-birth. So this is our Spritz facial mist, and if you got our Bellibind Basics or any package other than our Belly Bestie set, then this is included in your kit. I really like having this available for you post-wrap because it can help so much with just relaxing you, cooling you off. Now close your eyes because there is peppermint in it. Pin spritz in a circular motion. Let that soft, cool mist kiss your skin, cool you off. Let the aroma of the lemongrass and peppermint invigorate you to lift up your mood, sink you into that heart space and that gratitude for your body. And that concludes your self-wrapping belly bind experience. Thank you so much for watching with me. Thank you for binding with Bellibind. And leave a comment below, like this video if it was helpful for you. If you feel supported with one of our Bellibind wraps, we'd love to hear from you. Click subscribe so that you can be notified whenever we upload a new informative video for you to increase your success with belly binding and just overall on your postpartum journey. I'm Princess Estocia McKinney, and it's been such a pleasure supporting you.